Welcome back, family, to episode 2 of What's the War podcast, where we'll be talking about real life, real growth, and the experience in our marriage, and maybe then somebody will want to get married or not want to get married based off what we're going through.
Why do you keep saying that?
What?
If people will want to get married or not want to get married.
Cause I don't know. I guess because that's real. I mean, you don't want me to say it?
I just wanted to know why you keep It's like someone's gonna watch it and be like, oh hell no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, because maybe they like, oh no, I don't want to live. I don't want to live in the same house with nobody. I don't want to have to budget. I don't want to have to do this or do that. That's what I'm saying. So if somebody want to get married, then use this podcast as your example. If you want to get married, and we are, what's the word?
I guess, or good
Inspiring you to
examples.
get good examples of marriage, and you inspired to get married, then use this. That's what we are here for. We giving you real time experience. We not waiting till we get 15 years down the road to say, hey, you should do this because it's good and this and this and that. And not give you no lessons or none of that about what we experience. We just automatically tell you, hey, it's good. Get the product off the shelf.
We're gonna take each month and rate it 1 through 10. No, we're not actually gonna do that. We're just gonna review our month. Anyway, before we get into that, we wanted to say thank you to everyone who's supported us. We've gotten such good feedback, and it's been like really encouraging for us.
Very encouraging.
Yep. So much so that we're going to start posting twice a month now. So you can expect videos in audio form for our audio listeners from us on the 1st and the 18th of each month. We're going to move our What's the Word segment to the 1st, where we're going to dive into different topics. Hopefully topics that are given to us by you guys. So
Because
hopefully
we really want to engage you. I'm sorry
yeah,
for interrupting.
you're
We
fine.
really want to engage you and have you feel like you're a part just as much as we are a part of you, or the people that actually listen and follow us.
So hopefully by the time this video is out, we'll have a form up where you guys can give us your situations or your questions about any topic, and we'll do a deep dive into it and give our own personal experience and advice that you can give or take if you would like. And then on the 18th, which is our anniversary date, we're going to be doing our monthly recaps. So this is what this episode is for.
And as far as our What's the War segment, I know I'm backtrack a little bit. As far as our What's the War segment, that episode, granted, we don't know everything. We don't know nothing. We only know what we know. And the topics, they don't necessarily have to be about marriage. It can be about anything in life. Anything. Just give us a topic, something to elaborate on. If not, we're going to come up with something anyway. But we really hope that you guys get engaged with us and give us something that we can elaborate on. Maybe it's some advice that you can get from us that you can't get from somebody else. Because I done got advice from 15-year-olds that I couldn't get from a 50-year-old, and vice versa. So we're happy to help.
Yeah, it
And
can be.
somebody could even help us, even if you just sent us something to give us advice.
And reflect on.
Yeah.
It can be about health, fitness, cooking, driving, jobs, situationships, body image, anything like that. Mental health, anything. So give us anything and we'll do our best to try to give our personal experience and how we've dealt with it. So I guess getting into blessings. My first, which I realize looking back now, I do find a lot of lessons within my blessings, but it is fun for me to think about something that's purely a blessing. Like I didn't learn anything from it, but it was just a blessing to me. So my first one is finding my game buddies here. So I love board games, and me and my family play board games all the time. And when I moved here, I was like, who am I going to share my love of board games with? And his sisters love board games as much as I do. So we'll play with them maybe once or twice a week. And it's honestly been my favorite thing, introducing them to all my favorite games and them showing me games. But I just love it. I love it so much. So that's my number one
Now the
blessing.
thing is, I like board games too. My brain just don't work as fast sometimes on some board games because you got to be able to think like super fast and move super fast. And I'm like, why I can't just take my time and just why I can't strategically do something in a slower pace? That's just who I. That's just me. I'm just saying. So I'm not good at some of the board games they like to play because are um
We think fast.
they are brainiacs.
I was going to say be nice.
Yes,
We're intellectuals. His sisters are
they're
very,
they're
very smart.
they're scholars.
Yeah. So that's my number one blessing of the month. I like have a list on Amazon of all the new games I'm going to get, and it's my favorite thing. My second blessing of the month is I've been getting a lot more into reading, but I'll say reading in quotation marks because I listen to audiobooks. So some people might not count that. Me and Ty love podcasts. We listen to podcasts very often, so it's not a surprise that we started one. So that used to be my main form of my main hobby, but I've gotten into audiobooks now, so I'm going through the Hunger Games series. Um, I started with the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and now I'm into Sunrise on the Reaping, which is coming out in November. The movie's coming out in November, and I'm so excited. And I'm going to reread everything and watch everything, and I'm going to make him watch everything with me. And so, yes, I'm like into the whole lore of the Hunger Games universe, and I'm like geeking out over it. So I'm almost done with Sunrise on the Reaping, and then I'm going to listen to the trilogy, and then I have to wait till November. So
Well, I only know about whatever Hunger Games movies we was watching at the time, so I might be a little lost.
that's why we're going to rewatch everything. And then
Oh
I'm going to compare
well,
everything to the book and see what changes and what's not. Like I'm really geeking out over this right now, but I've kept it to myself.
I can tell. But hey, we gonna do that. Now, as far as audiobooks and regular books, I love to watch podcasts. I love to watch podcasts. Now, I did a few months ago start reading because I want to try to refocus my mind. I want to try to gain more focus in tasks because my attention span is very short. It done grew since I started reading books, but my attention span was very, very short. If I sat in a classroom sitting and a teacher was doing this on the board and saying, hey, a squared plus b squared, I'm gonna do this. In 5 seconds, I will be asleep. If they not engaging me with my hands and I'm not doing something, I'm gonna fall asleep or I'm gonna lose interest. So I'm gonna start reading books to try to regain my focus. So
Yeah.
it's good to read books and also read books that add value to myself, which then adds value to the people I interact with and my marriage.
Going back to the Hunger Games, some people may argue that fiction doesn't add things to your life as much as nonfiction because it's not as straightforward. But if you want to know about the political climate of the world and how human nature is as a whole, read the Hunger Games, read the whole series. I've learned so much, and that's why it's like blowing my mind. But in terms of attention span, yeah, I feel like we're trying more to dive into long form content and as well making long form content because social media is killing our brains. I think it's pitiful when I'm scrolling through TikTok and I can't even watch a video for like 5 seconds without scrolling on. So we're trying to fix our brains.
It's funny. It's funny because your TikTok is your social media is different is watching you and see what you're engaging in. Now, when I'm on night shift and I'm just sitting in my car, I come across 10-minute long videos every like each scroll. It'd be like a 10-minute long video and I just sit there and I just listen to it. I mean, that's my substitute for a podcast, especially if I ain't got nothing else to listen to at the moment.
Do you have
But
trouble like getting through the whole thing?
what you
Like
mean?
I'll come across long form videos, but it's almost I'm like fighting myself to sit there and listen to it. And I make myself not scroll cuz I'm like, "Sid, that's pathetic. Like you need to listen to a 5-minute video."
Well, see, on my TikTok, it has a lot of motivation and philosophy, talking about God, and so I'm very interested in stuff like that. So when it is a 10-minute long video, I do want to hear the video out because maybe I'm gonna gain some now. Granted, if you ask me, now what they just say in that long video, I'm gonna be like, I don't know. At the moment, I'm gonna be like, I don't know. But
And
then,
then 2 days later you're going to be like, "Man, I saw this video on TikTok and they were talking about this and this and this. What do you think about it?"
yeah, or somewhere down the line, something gonna happen, and I'm gonna say, well, I heard once that a bird wasn't a bird unless it was a bird. And I'm be like, man, where I get that? Where I get that from? I don't know
You've
where I
done
got.
that before.
I don't know where I got that from. But that's why I like it. That's why I like reading. That's why I like taking in stuff that feeds my spirit and feeds me internally. Because then, when a situation happens, I'm just like, I just get to spilling out stuff that I'm like, where did that come from? But that's how it worked.
Yeah. So I would say if you're interested in getting into long form content, find something that really piques your interest because that will help you dive into it easier than just, oh, I'm going to read this book because everyone else is reading it. I'm going to listen to this because everyone else is listening to it. Like, get something that piques your interest. Like, I love the series that I'm listening to, and Ty likes the videos that he listens to. So find something, a book that maybe you read when you were a kid, or like a podcast with people you like. And just try in 2026, let's try to fix our brains and watch something for more than 30 seconds. So, do you want to get
Now
it?
I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I want to watch stuff for 30 seconds. I don't care, man. I
You
don't.
say you don't care, but it's not good for your attention
I
span.
know it ain't good for me. It ain't good for my attention span. But I might see a video with somebody dancing and it make me want to get up and do all this. But hey, don't listen. Yeah, in 2026 we trying to fix our brain. So long form content, uh, things that interest you, feed your spirit, and maybe occasionally you can dance and jive and groove like you want to.
Just don't be a social media zombie.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, we're gonna move on. I'm gonna go into my blessing. My first blessing is, even though, yeah, I know we in the last episode we talked about a budget, right? We had a budget, and it took us 5 hours now. 5 hours. I'm gonna keep saying that because it took us 5 hours to do, and we still
You
didn't
didn't
even,
get it right.
yeah, we still didn't calculate the budget like we were supposed to. Now, granted, we weren't far off, but we didn't calculate how we were supposed to. And now there are some unforeseen, what is it called?
Unforeseen
Cost
costs.
that's
Yeah.
coming up, and I forgot about them. Most of them my fault.
It's
I
okay.
take responsibility. Most of them my fault, and I forgot about them. And now it's like, dang, we ain't followed the budget. But the blessing in it is we had we have enough, more than enough, to take care of those costs and still have enough to do what we want and get what we need. So that's my first blessing. I'm very grateful that we still got the means to do what we need to do. Excuse me, and also what we want to do.
Yep. And we're learning. So,
Yeah, and that's all you can do is learn. I mean, hey, you got to hit a couple rocks when you walking down the road. See, I don't even know where that came from. I don't even know if that made sense, but I hope it made sense to somebody. But my my next blessing is that I was going to Barnes and Noble, right? I'll give you a story. Like I said, I started reading books a couple months ago. I was going to Barnes and Noble and actually buying the books and just keeping them. So
And you know how expensive Barnes and Noble books can get.
yeah,
It's an investment.
yeah. And this little owl, she said, "Hey, have you ever thought about getting a library card?"
He goes, a library card? What's that?
I ain't never known nobody getting no library card. I thought that was just for in school, go to the library and check out a math book or something, and you probably still got to pay for it, put it on your school account. But I ain't know nobody go get library cards, so I looked into it. And
No, he goes, how much does that cost? I go,
yeah, that was the first thing.
it's free.
Yeah, and she was like, "It's free," because I thought it was gonna have to, I was going to buy a library card. And I was like, "Well, what I'm buying a library card for? And I'm already getting the books from Barnes and Noble." So I looked into it, and in my area, you can get a free library card, and you can go check out books anytime you want. You can renew and maintain.
I know. He was like, so if I don't finish the book by the due date, I'm going to have to give it back. That defeats the whole purpose. I said, well, friend, you can renew the book.
Yeah, and yeah, and I was like, for real? So then I went and got me a book from the library, and I just renewed it. But it actually, oh my God. Oh, okay, that's no. It's actually due tomorrow.
Are you going
And
to renew it again?
I'm going to renew it again because I ain't done reading it.
The power
Now,
of library.
yeah, because it take me about 2 months to read a book.
Growing
A
up,
short read at that.
my mom used to take us to the library like weekly. And at that time, I hated reading. And every time we would go to the library, it would actually give me a headache. But I would be like, Mom, I can't go. The library's going to give me a headache. He's like, girl, please.
That's some kind of stuff. That's some kind of stuff you pull when you don't want to go to school.
And then I go and I actually get a headache. I'm like, Mom, we have to go home. And I would get comics. I would only get like picture.
I didn't read no books at all. I'm telling you, I just started reading books when I got older. I watched a lot of movies and a lot of TV, in which it's not really as good for you because it's not really that
I think
information.
it depends on what movies and TV you're watching.
Yeah, okay, but it's not as informational for a child as reading a book would be, or well, like you said, it do depend. But
Yeah, I think it's in different ways.
a
So
lot of
like,
stuff that I did choose was not very informational. I watched a lot of
I was
SpongeBob
gonna say,
and a lot of
I was gonna say like SpongeBob.
fun fact though. She told me that SpongeBob killed brain cells.
I wasn't allowed to watch it because I was told it kills brain cells.
And you know that
And Ty got so offended.
yeah, that hurt me. It had me feeling like I was slow cuz I love SpongeBob. I actually but see now I don't care as much cuz I know I'm smart.
You
I'm
are
just not
smart.
I'm just not intellectually um
As intellectually
as
advanced.
yeah
I think you're
in
intellectual
certain
in a different way.
yeah in certain yeah I'm spiritually intellectual. I have to say something.
Intellectual.
I mean no
Yes, you are so intellectual.
yeah I'm spiritually into what the word
Intellectual.
intellectual, yeah. And I actually got a SpongeBob air freshener out in the car right now.
I don't think there's anything wrong with SpongeBob now. I've watched a few episodes. It wouldn't be my first pick, but I think we have to indulge in brain rot every once in a while.
Yeah, and
It wouldn't be the first show I introduced my kid to, though.
yeah, I don't watch it right now, but my mind has come to a maturity and a level of I still feed my spirit what it needs and my mind what it needs to say that, man, if I want to get some SpongeBob going on, I'm gonna get some SpongeBob going on. But I know that I don't. I know. No, bump that. I didn't know that it killed brain cells, and
No,
maybe.
and who knows if it does? I was just told that. I don't know if it's true or not.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Well, that was just a fun fact. But no, that's my blessing of the month though. I'm so happy I got to get a library card and I'm gonna go check out books all the time because I am gonna turn into I do want to go get on the reading rainbow.
be a bookworm. So what are we getting into now? Our lessons?
Yes, listen.
I go first? Or you?
Well, I mean, I just went, so I mean, you can go ahead. I need to catch my breath, like I always say.
Okay. My first lesson and a blessing, which I talked about at the beginning, is the feedback that we've gotten for the podcast so far. When we first posted and I saw how much people were excited about it, I like felt such a relief because I I was stressing so much over the learning process and the editing and getting it out, and it's been so stressful for me, honestly, guys, but the good feedback we've gotten from it has been so affirming that it doesn't have to be perfect for you to just put it out there, and that the people who need to listen are going to listen, and the people who need it are going to need it, and it doesn't have to be perfectly presented or perfectly edited, or it doesn't have to be the perfect audio. And I've realized that I hold myself to a really high standard and that I need to be a little more gracious towards myself. So I'm learning to do that, but I'm also learning how to let other people carry the load for me. So Ty doesn't know as much that goes into the behind the scenes work. So, and I've been a little reluctant to kind of let him in because sometimes I think it's easier for me just to do it all by myself because I know how to do it and I know how to do it well. But it does put a toll on me. And so seeing Ty make himself available and me kind of push him away, and I'm like, I can do it myself. I know how to do it. Like, it's going to take me longer to teach you. And so
No, that's okay.
that's been my excuse is
It's okay. Cause get what? I was in the bathtub yesterday watching a video on how to work the stuff.
I know that's so sweet.
So now I think I know a
Oh,
little bit,
oh,
just a tiny bit, but I still got to get my hands on. Cause even watching the video, like I told you, I got a shorter attention span. So about 7 minutes in, I was like, okay, now tell me, now listen, I need a lot. I need you to show me. I need to go get a computer and I need to do this because I can't keep watching it.
yeah.
But I was trying to learn.
A lot of the reason I don't let people help me is because I think it will be faster just for me to do it by myself, and it will take more of my time and more of my energy and add more to my plate to sit down and have to teach you, because obviously learning takes time. But this is how I had my reflection the other day, actually. Ty was like, "Do you know the Cup song?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I showed him the Cup song. And he's like, "Oh, can you teach it to me?" And at first I'm like, "Oh, this is going to take forever. I don't want to teach him." But I'm like, "Sid, like, why not?" And so I sat there and I taught you how to do it. And you picked up really fast. I'm like, "How rewarding is that?" Because now you know how to do it. And you were happy doing it. And I'm like, it would be more rewarding in the long run to just let someone in and let someone help carry the load than to do it all by yourself. And so now I'm learning that even though it might take a while to teach you, that it will actually save me more time once you know how to do more stuff because we'll be sharing the load. So I'm learning how to do that. It's
Where do
take
you where do you think that come from?
um
Like wanting to do it all yourself and not really, not wanting to teach somebody, but like thinking that it would be more on you to teach somebody than to, instead of looking at it as they could possibly help me.
Well, I guess two things. One, because I hold myself to a high standard. I want everything I put out to be high quality, and I know that takes time. And so I guess if I'm being impatient investing all that towards myself, I don't want to be impatient investing in you either. So I'd rather just do it all by myself because I don't want how, like, you've seen me get frustrated at myself for not picking up something really fast. And I'm like, I should know this already. I've spent 3 hours trying to learn how to do this and I'm not an expert at it. And you're like, What do you mean? You just started today. But I don't want how impatient I am towards myself to reflect on when I'm teaching you. Like, I want to be patient, but I feel like I have to start being more patient towards myself first.
But I think maybe that's why it comes so easy to me because
You're very
I'm very
patient.
patient with myself, and I know for a fact that I don't know how to do a lot of stuff. But I know for a fact that I can learn,
Yeah.
and I'm able to learn, and of course it's gonna take me some time. It might take me a little longer to learn than somebody else, and that's okay. Where am I? What am I? What am I rushing to do? Where am I rushing to go? How soon am I trying to get something? Like, am I trying to get something done? You know, because beautiful, precious things take time, and everything that you put 100% of your effort in, whether that's yourself, a job, uh, this, it takes time.
Yeah.
So that's the if the you just it's it comes out better when you are patient with yourself because you got to give yourself grace,
Yeah.
and you know that just as well as I do. So I know that it will be all right. It just gonna take some time.
Yeah. Guess I was projecting a bit. But I am going to sit down and teach Ty how to edit our social media clips, hopefully sometime this week. So I'm getting better, guys. I'm getting better at sharing the load.
Yeah, cause I showed though I don't know I do nothing but be blabber lips.
He's the talent.
Yeah, you can say that. You can say that. But she got the same talent I got. She just know how to do it. She know how to do a lot more than me. But it's all right. When I learn, I'm gonna be a bad mother.
If you start seeing all the memes on our video, it's going to be Ty.
Yeah.
So,
I, I trust me. It's gonna be good. It'll be a fun time.
so that was my first lesson.
I actually got like 3 lessons because I'm constantly self-reflecting. That's why sometimes when y'all see me sitting here looking lost, that's what I'm doing. I'm listening, but I'm also self-reflecting because I probably do got a lot to say. But my first lesson is that everything that we need to fix a problem that we having, not not when I say problem, I don't mean it's her fault or it's my fault, but a problem that we share in this relationship. Anything that we need to fix that problem is never outside of us. You remember we talked about the bubbles? It's never outside of our bubble.
It's in the bubble.
Yeah. Everything that we need is inside the bubble. So I never want to be that type of relationship to where we have to go to, not saying go to counseling or nothing like that, because that works for people. I'm saying I don't want to have to go to outside sources to figure out what's going on inside,
Yeah.
especially if we haven't even tried to figure out what's going. I'm sorry, Mike. Especially if we haven't even tried to figure out what's going on inside.
Yeah. Like I will never go to my friends and be like, "Well, Ty's this and this and this and this and he's so annoying and he just frustrates me so much." Like, of course we can like tease about each other like, "Oh, Ty is so silly, blah, blah, blah." But I'm never going to slander him and I'm never going to introduce a problem that he didn't know about.
Yeah,
Like, I'll never go to an outside source and introduce something that I've not first talked to you about. I'll go to other people. And I don't even do that. The most I'll go to is like my mom for emotional support. But I'm never going to tell her details that you don't already know about first. And I think that's just respecting our relationship.
I mean, I really don't tell nobody nothing. I mean, I take that back. Me and my mama talk a lot, and she might know a tad bit here and a tad bit there, but that's only when she could possibly be going through something similar, and then cause I compare them a lot. I say, well, see it just did something like that the other day, and I told see it, and or something like that. But it's never like well, we did this to fix it, or we tried to fix it by doing this, and we tried to do. It's not that.
It's like we can go to other people for support, but we don't go to other people for the solution. Like, we have to find the solution ourselves.
Yeah,
Or,
within us.
yeah.
And prayer helps too. Prayer helps too for those who pray.
Oh, yeah, always go to God.
Yeah, prayer.
Don't not do that.
Yeah, prayer helps a lot. It's just for the people that pray. You know, if you don't, whatever your inner source may be, it will help.
Yeah, I'll add to that too. Your whole lesson about the solution is within our relationship. The solution to a lot of problems we face in life is also already in us. And I'm saying that now because when we were talking about our lessons and blessings for the month, I was like, I don't have mine yet. And Ty was like, well, have you done enough self reflecting? And I got offended. I'm like, of course. Of course I've done enough. And I really haven't. And it's really hard for me to admit when I'm not doing enough because it makes me hard on myself. But this is me telling you I wasn't. Because when I sat and I laid on the couch and I just started thinking, like truly thinking about what are my lessons, my blessings for this month, all the answers came so fast. And like all the things that I've been struggling with this month, where you ask me, well, what do you think the reason for that is? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I truly don't know. It's because I wasn't taking time to sit and reflect because I know who I am and I know why I do the things I do. And you tell me that all the time. You're like, you know why you do the things you do because you know yourself. But I feel like sometimes it's scary for me to just sit and think about, okay, well, why do I do the things I do? Why am I not letting Ty help edit the podcast? And it only took me like 10 minutes sitting down and thinking about it to be like, oh, well, it's because I'm not patient with myself, so I'm scared I won't be patient towards him. And that's why I do everything on my own. And like it took me literally, guys, 10 minutes to figure that out. And all my other lessons for the month, I figured out why is it a lesson? Why am I doing the thing I'm doing? By self-reflecting. So if you have a problem in life, sit there and think about yourself. What triggers certain actions? Why you're doing something, why you're not doing something. And you'll find that more solutions are within yourself than you thought. So I guess that's a lesson of mine too.
Absolutely. So moving on to my next lesson. I'm looking down because I got everything wrote down. I have a big issue with trying to give solutions, in which a lot of men do. You know, you want to give solutions instead of being a listening ear. So my lesson is every problem that someone is having, I'm saying someone, but I really mean you. Every problem that someone is having, it does not call for a solution. Sometimes it just needs a listening ear or understanding, or, you know, for you to sympathize. And if you can, try to empathize with them. Or if you do empathize with them. That's all that it needs. Every problem does not need a solution, because that's the only way I always knew how to do stuff, was try to come up with a solution. Now, this is not bashing. This is not saying anything out the way. But for most women, they not looking for solutions.
Let me preface, not in the moment where we're upset.
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense. So not looking for solutions, but emotion, like she said with her mom, emotional support, listening, trying to understand what they're going through. And then maybe later, once they've jumped the curve of the upsetness and the emotion, then they come back, because she does it a lot. And once she get over herself or get over what she's dealing with, then she'll come back and say, well, what do you think? What do you think? You know, what do you think I should do? Or what do you think helps? You know?
Yeah.
And I had to learn that, because from in the beginning, in which I still do it sometimes now, but I believe that I got a lot better. But I at first I did try to give a lot of solutions and be like, well, You could be doing this and doing that and doing this when really all I need to do is just listen.
I think the best way to explain it is that women, not all women, but most women experience high highs, low lows. It's like an emotional roller coaster or a wave. And so I'll just speak for myself. When I'm upset, I'm experiencing a high high. So imagine this is a wave. And I'm like, oh my gosh, all these emotions. It's a big wave. And the solution is on the other side of the wave, but I can't see that because I'm just seeing everything I feel. And so if Ty's pointing out the solution that's on the other side of the wave, I'm not even trying to see that because all I see is a wave. And so I need support to help me swim over the wave because I can't do it by myself because it's overwhelming. And so I need that emotional support to get over the wave. And then I'm like, oh, that's the solution he was talking about. But when he only points out the solution at first, I feel like he's not seeing the wave that I'm seeing that I'm struggling to get over. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Like I logically cannot focus on a solution until I get over how I'm feeling.
Because how a woman feels is very important to her. And I don't think nothing is wrong with feeling, but if you are too invested in feeling, it does block the logic, like she said with the waves. The waves are blocking the logic because you are more invested in your feelings than you are than actually thinking about or processing what it is that you're feeling and how to overcome what you're feeling.
Yeah, and Ty can only emotionally support like if I'm trying to swim. Does that make sense? Like he can try to push me over the wave as much as he wants to, but if I'm sad. I'm just letting myself drown, and it's going to drown him too. Like if I'm not even trying to swim, then it's not doing us any favors. So like
Right.
if you're faced with emotion and you're just fixating on it and not trying to fix it, like it doesn't get us anywhere.
Right. Or at least just get on the floaty. Just get on the floaty and float, and then I can try to pull you across the wave or something.
Yeah.
But that's one of my lessons. I do need to not give as many solutions and just listen, because I have learned that listening, she will tell everything that it is that she's feeling or that she would need. Even though she might think it's ridiculous at the moment, I'm like, okay, she wouldn't have just felt that for no reason. So it helps. Another lesson of mine would be that constructive criticism is not something that should be abused. It's not something that you have to use all the time. Some people just need positive reinforcement. Some people just need to know that they're doing a good job. Because if you can notice, of course you notice when somebody's doing differently than what they were doing, or if somebody doing good or better each time that they're doing something. And I think that if they are doing that, they deserve to know it. It doesn't always have to be, well, you could be doing this better, or you could be doing that better, or you could be doing this and doing that and doing this. Because that can create like a feeling inside of them that maybe they not doing enough because you always point out what they ain't doing. So maybe they feel like they not doing enough. On the reason I say I had to learn that is because all of my life, in which I am a guy, and I do have all sisters, but all of my life I have gotten, and it's not just from parents, but I have gotten what I could be doing, versus what I'm actually doing. Like maybe they don't see it. Maybe somebody else don't see what I'm doing good. I know what I'm doing good. If I explain it to them and they have an understanding ear and a listening ear, and then they can recognize that as I'm explaining it, then hopefully they would tell me like, man, you're doing a good job. I really appreciate you doing this. I see that you're doing this. I see you working on this. I think for a lot of people that do go a long way. Now, granted, I didn't grow up like that. Constructive criticism was always a thing with me, but I have learned to deal with that constructive criticism, and now I think that it has taken me, and now sometimes that's the only thing I know how to dish out is constructive criticism. I can't never give positive reinforcement, so I need to learn more how to give positive reinforcement and tell you that you are doing a good job, because you always do a good job. I know that you always do a good job because I go out and I tell people that you do a good job, that you do a great job at everything. So it's not even as important for me to tell them if I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
So I can do better at doing that.
Oh, that was sweet. I think constructive criticism is really important. And just to give context to what Ty was talking about, so I have not been sleeping well. I was going to say this week, but really this month. And that's my last lesson. But I've been going to sleep a lot later than I should be. But I've also been trying to be as productive as I can while I'm awake. Granted, I do take moments of time to myself where I'm not doing anything productive. So if I'm just sitting there or if I'm scrolling on TikTok. And so yesterday was kind of busy for me, and I ended up not getting as much done as I wanted to because I gave myself an exertion headache at the gym and it was really bad. So it kind of took me out for a couple hours. And then by the time I was able to be productive, it was already pretty late. And so I was trying to get out our social media clips for the day, and I ended up not getting done till after midnight. And I did take a break in between to just mindlessly scroll. And so when I was done, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so late. Like, I've been trying to go to bed earlier and it's late and blah, 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 blah. And then Ty was like, well,
And here come the Mr. Ward coming in with his constructive criticism.
he's like, well, and don't get offended. He always preface, don't get offended.
I be trying to prep the chicken.
But he goes, but there was 30 to 45 minutes where you were scrolling on your TikTok. And immediately I shut down because I'm like, yeah, I know that. But I also just sat here for 2-3 hours working on our podcast, and I was like, did he not see any of that? Like, did he only see the 30 to 45 minutes where I was scrolling? And it made me shut down. And it's not that what he said was invalid, but I told him that if that's the only thing I hear, that's what I think is the only thing you saw. Like, to me, the other hours that I spent working just went down the drain because I scrolled. And if I didn't scroll, I would have gotten done earlier, and then I would have gotten to sleep earlier. And I told him, like, one, I need time. I need a break. Like, not that scrolling is healthy and I'm trying to scroll less, but I do need time where I'm not always working. And two, I would have taken it a lot better if he had first said, or maybe followed with, you did a really good job. Like, I know it's a lot of work for you to do that, and I appreciate you staying up late to do that and stuff like that. So we had a conversation about that. So that's kind of where that came from.
And before we came and gave that to y'all, of course we talked about it because the solution was within us,
Yeah.
within this bubble. So we were able to dish that out. So we hope that these lessons was something that we can give you guys to as like a, what's the word? I always look over to her and say what's the word because I'm
As a way to, I don't know.
to share light on some experiences. Maybe you haven't went through them yet, but if you go through them, maybe you'll remember this and say, hey,
You see,
know,
I saw how they talked through it, and they're okay.
Yeah.
They didn't get divorced.
right.
I
Well,
do. Wait, I have one more lesson. Like I said, this month, horrible sleep schedule. So I am trying to fix that. That was my lesson of the month. Is sleep is very important, and your sleep schedule is very important, because before this month, I was thriving. Like, I would wake up, I would do my work, I would work on podcasts, I would go work out, I would make dinner, I would go to sleep, repeat. That cycle was like locked in. And then Ty switches schedules every once in a while for work.
every 4 weeks.
Yes. And so he is now nocturnal. And so me as his wife, I'm like, I must now become nocturnal. And I was like, no, no, please, no. And so as much as I try, it's really hard for me not to be on his sleep schedule also. And that has completely taken me out, honestly. Like, I have not been very healthy since that. And I'm not sleeping well and everything like that. I threw off my circadian rhythm. So when I go to sleep, my mind is awake. It won't go to sleep. And then when I try to wake up, I'm exhausted and it's just throwing everything off. So my big lesson, I prioritize sleep, and it links to everything else. It links to my performance when working out, it links to my productivity, it links to how emotionally stable I am. And so, yes, that is my last lesson, that I need to fix my sleep schedule. And if you're staying up till 3 a.m., 5 a.m., go to bed. Get some melatonin, take some ashwagandha. That's what I'm doing, and go to sleep.
Or you can go outside and run all up the street
I'm not a
and
runner.
run up the street and run back,
I'm not a runner.
and you'll fall right asleep. But that concludes episode 2 of What's the Ward, where we are talking about our marriage and everything we experience.
We'll see you guys on the 1st. Our first topic we're going to talk about for our What's the Word segment is going to be insecurity. So if you've ever dealt with insecurity, if you're currently dealing with insecurity and you want to hear how we've dealt with it and how we've processed it, tune in on the 1st. And we can't wait to see you guys.